Have you ever looked up at the night sky and felt a sense of awe and wonder? That feeling, that curiosity about the universe and our place in it is what drives us to explore. But what about the universe inside our own minds? What hidden forces are at play, shaping our thoughts, our actions, and our very realities? Today we're setting off on a journey into the cosmos of your own mind. Just like we use telescopes to study distant galaxies, we're going to use the tools of science and psychology to uncover 3 invisible forces that are secretly pulling the strings of your life. These forces, they're not some mystical energies or cosmic coincidences. They're backed by research, by observation, by hard data. And the best part, once you understand them, you can actually harness their power to design a life that's not just fulfilling, but truly extraordinary. Get ready to have your mind blown wide open. Welcome back, crew. Today, we're uncovering 3 invisible forces that secretly shape your decisions, habits, and even happiness. By the end, you'll see your daily life in a whole new light. Let's dive in. Okay, let's talk about this French philosopher named Denis Diderot. He lived in the 18th century, a time of great intellectual ferment, and he was a pretty smart guy. But Diderot had a bit of a weakness for beautiful things. One day, he received a gift, a luxurious scarlet dressing gown. It was a stunning piece of clothing, and Diderot was absolutely delighted with it. But here's where things get interesting. Diderot started to feel like his other possessions were no longer up to par. Compared to the elegance of his new robe, his old furniture looked shabby, his desk seemed cluttered, even his beloved books appeared dull and uninteresting. He felt compelled, almost obligated, to upgrade his entire life to match the grandeur of his new acquisition. This, my friends, is the Diderot Effect in action. It's that sneaky little voice in your head that says, well, I bought this new phone, now I need a new case, a new pair of headphones, and maybe a whole new wardrobe to go with it. It's the reason why one seemingly innocent purchase can trigger a chain reaction of consumerism, leaving your bank account crying for mercy. Think about it, you buy a new couch, a really nice one. Suddenly, your old coffee table looks out of place, the rug clashes, and you're browsing for throw pillows at 2 in the morning. It's like a design black hole sucking in your money and your sanity. But the Diderot effect goes beyond material possessions. It can influence your relationships, your career choices, even your sense of identity. Ever known someone who got a promotion and suddenly started acting like they were better than everyone else? Yep, Diderot effect. The key takeaway here is that our desires are interconnected. One purchase, one upgrade can trigger a cascade of wants and needs that can be hard to resist. But here's the good news. You can fight back against the Diderot effect. First, awareness is key. The next time you find yourself tempted to buy something new, ask yourself, do I really need this, or am I just trying to match it to something else I recently acquired? Often, simply acknowledging the Diderot effect can be enough to break its hold. Second, practice gratitude. Take some time each day to appreciate the things you already have. The more content you are with what you have, the less susceptible you'll be to the siren song of the Diderot effect. Remember, true happiness doesn't come from accumulating more stuff. It comes from appreciating what you have, and finding joy in the simple things in life. Don't let the Diderot effect turn you into a slave to consumerism. You're smarter than that. You're stronger than that. You're in control of your own desires. Let's take a trip back to the 1980s, the golden age of arcade games. Remember Tetris, that deceptively simple game where you had to fit falling blocks together? It was addictive, it was challenging, and it had a peculiar side effect. People who played Tetris for hours on end started seeing the world in terms of Tetris blocks. They'd be driving down the street and see buildings as potential Tetris pieces, or look at a crowded room and imagine how people could fit together like a giant puzzle. They were experiencing what we now call the Tetris Effect. But here's the thing, the Tetris effect isn't just limited to video games, it's a fundamental principle of how our brains work. Our brains are pattern recognition machines, constantly scanning our environment for patterns, and then reinforcing those patterns through repetition. Think about it. When you learn a new skill like playing a musical instrument or speaking a new language, it feels awkward and difficult at first. But the more you practice, the more those neural pathways in your brain become strengthened, and the more automatic the skill becomes. That's the Tetris effect in action. But here's where things get really interesting. The Tetris effect doesn't just apply to positive skills or experiences, it can also work with negative thoughts and behaviors. If you spend all day worrying about things that might go wrong, your brain becomes a master at finding things to worry about. You start seeing potential threats everywhere, even when there's no real danger. You become trapped in a negative feedback loop, your brain constantly reinforcing those anxious thoughts and feelings. It's like playing a never-ending game of doom and gloom Tetris, and it can be incredibly draining. But just as the Tetris effect can work against us, it can also work for us. If you consciously choose to focus on positive things like gratitude, kindness, and opportunities for growth, your brain will start to pick up on those patterns too. You'll start to see the world through a more optimistic lens, noticing the good things that were always there but that you may have overlooked before. So how do you harness the power of the Tetris effect for good? It's simple. Practice, practice, practice. Just like you wouldn't expect to become a concert pianist overnight, you can't expect to rewire your brain for positivity without putting in the effort. Take a few minutes each day to focus on things you're grateful for. Write them down in a journal, share them with a loved one, or simply reflect on them in your mind. The more you do this, the more your brain will start to see the world through a lens of gratitude. Remember, your brain is like a garden. What you choose to plant and nurture will determine what grows. So plant seeds of positivity, water them with gratitude, and watch your life blossom. Chapter 3. The Pygmalion Effect, the Power of Expectation. Let's dive into a fascinating psychological phenomenon known as the Pygmalion Effect. It gets its name from the Greek myth of Pygmalion, a sculptor who carved a statue of a woman so beautiful that he fell madly in love with it. Aphrodite, the goddess of love, took pity on him and brought the statue to life. Now you might be thinking, what does a Greek myth have to do with my life? Well, the Pygmalion Effect suggests that our expectations of others can actually influence their behavior and performance, sometimes in dramatic ways. In the 1960s, two researchers, Robert Rosenthal and Lenore Jacobson, conducted a landmark study in an elementary school. They told teachers that certain students were late bloomers who were about to experience a surge in intellectual growth, even though these students were actually chosen at random. Guess what happened? Those randomly selected students showed significant gains in IQ scores compared to their classmates. The teachers' expectations became a self-fulfilling prophecy. They treated those students differently, perhaps giving them more attention, encouragement, or challenging assignments, and the students rose to the occasion. The Pygmalion Effect isn't just limited to classrooms. It plays out in workplaces, in families, and in our personal relationships. If you believe someone is capable of great things, you're more likely to treat them in a way that supports their growth and success. Conversely, if you have low expectations of someone, you might inadvertently hold them back by not giving them opportunities to shine. But here's the real mind-blowing part. The Pygmalion Effect doesn't just work on other people, it works on ourselves too. Our self-expectations, our self-beliefs, have a powerful influence on our own actions and outcomes. If you constantly tell yourself, "I'm not good at math," or "I'm terrible at public speaking," you're essentially setting yourself up for failure. Your brain hears those negative messages and thinks, well, if that's what you believe, I'm not even going to try. But here's the good news, you can flip the script. You can choose to focus on your strengths, celebrate your accomplishments, and embrace a growth mindset. Instead of saying, "I'm bad at this," try saying, "I'm still learning," or "I'm getting better every day." Challenge those limiting beliefs and replace them with empowering ones. Believe in your own potential, even if you've stumbled in the past. Remember, you are not defined by your mistakes or your perceived shortcomings. You are capable of amazing things, but you have to believe it first. The Pygmalion Effect is a powerful reminder that our words and beliefs have the power to shape reality. So choose them wisely, believe in yourself, believe in others, and watch as the world around you transforms. So, there you have it, 3 hidden forces that shape your life. The Diderot Effect, the Tetris Effect, and the Pygmalion Effect. They're invisible, they're powerful, and they're working on you right now, whether you realize it or not. But here's the empowering truth. Once you understand these forces, you can start to master them. You can break free from the cycle of consumerism, rewire your brain for positivity, and unleash your full potential. Remember, you are not a passive passenger in your own life. You are the architect, the designer, the creator of your own reality. So go out there and build something amazing. If these ideas blew your mind, smash that like button and tell me in the comments, which force impacts you most? First time here? Subscribe and hit the bell. We drop brain fuel every week. Oh, and share this with someone who needs to master their mindset. Until next time, stay curious, stay awesome, and remember, you're not just living life, you're shaping it. See ya?